So something we don't do very often on this show, we don't talk about photographs. And we got to thinking about that last week in an episode. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that episode. But we don't talk about photos very often. So I thought it might be fun today for us to look at some of the most famous ghost photos of all time. And that's what we're going to do today on Kinda Creepy.
I just thought of a great intro part. I got to download a specific meme, but it's the Nickelback. Look at this photograph. And we put just like a ghost photo in it.
Welcome everyone to Kinda Creepy. I'm Jason Emmett.
And I'm Twisted Kid Matt.
I would have loved it if you'd been like, Twisted Kid Matt. You didn't do it. I was waiting for it. Hey guys, we're not talking about Bigfoot this week, or next week, as it were. We will go back and we'll come back around to Bigfoot. Last week we talked about UFOs. If you haven't gone and watched that, you should go watch it because we kind of went over what people out on Reddit consider some of the best UFO evidence out there. So go watch, see if you agree, because I do. I think some of them are really good. I did appreciate that Matt found the one where the guy took the button. I didn't say this in the episode, but it's not just a button. He sets a button and the shadow was a burn. He like burned that into the, I don't know, the negative or whatever, and then retook the picture. And you can totally see it when you look at that picture, by the way. But that was a really good one. You guys should check it out. But it got us thinking, because we did something in that episode that we don't normally do, which is we showed a couple of photographs. And we don't talk about photographs a lot here. We try to stick to videos, but I thought it might be fun to go see what people consider some of the best ghost photographic evidence of all time. And we'll actually discuss these because chances are really good that you've seen most of these. By the way, if you're interested in paranormal stuff, there was maybe one in here I'd never seen before, which we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Yeah, there's a few that I already know. I've seen these that we're going to be talking about just in loading them in for the show. But there's a couple of them that just like I want to know an explanation if there is one, and I don't think that there really is an explanation for some of them based on the stories behind them.
Weird trend, and I thought about saying it, but I'm going to wait till we get to the end and see if you notice something that happens in several of these.
Okay.
And you'll hear it, so we'll see if you do. What I think is cool is we've talked about this a lot, grew up, being into paranormal stuff. And last week, when some of the photos of UFOs and then some of these photos that we're about to go over, they are the things that we had back then that got me interested in paranormal. So, and we've never talked about them. So even though we've both probably seen most of these, we've never had discussions about these. And so I just thought it would be interesting to do that today. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to give you, I have information on almost all of these. No, I have information on all of these, but I have quite a bit on most of these, a few less. But the nice thing about photographs is first of all of these, I think the latest one on here is 1997. So none of these are AI generated.
Yeah, probably not even taken on a digital camera either.
Yeah, I actually don't think any of these were taken on a digital camera because none of these are new enough to have been.
Yeah.
So that is that's interesting.
Now I'm curious, like when digital cameras came about.
That's a good. I remember my mom's first one was a 4 megapixel. I remember her getting that, and that was probably late 90s, 99, maybe 2000.
Late 80s to early 90s is when the first true digital camera for commercial sale appeared.
And God knows when they became popular. People actually started buying them. That's the whole.
They were probably super expensive back then too.
So. Oh, and they looked like crap.
It weighed 8 pounds apparently.
My mom's first one
1975
was a 4 megapixel. Like, I mean, that's
prototype one. Yeah.
That's crap, but we didn't think about it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into this, and we're gonna talk about our first photo. We're gonna be talking about the Brown Lady of Rhineman Hall. So I want to kind of give some reference here. Where I actually tried to do this. This is Rhineman Hall, and this is really cool too. All these places are very gothic looking, which is awesome, and most of them are in England, so that'll tell you something too. So the photo we're going to look at here in a second was taken by a Life magazine photographer. And it's considered to be one of the most compelling pieces of ghost evidence in existence. What we're going to see looks to be a veiled figure descending the staircase at Rhineman Hall in Norfolk, England. So let's go ahead and look at the photo. You've seen this,
I've
right?
definitely seen this one. Yeah.
You've seen this photo.
Yeah. This is probably one of the most famous. I remember seeing this in a book as a kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So do you want me to tell you the backstory or do you want to discuss the photo first?
Let's discuss the photo first.
Okay. Is there anything anything that gives you pause about this, or do you think there's any explanation you could see? Because like if it was just on the stairs, I would say pareidolia, but like
Yeah.
it's not, and it's definitely rising above the stairs. We see the head.
Yeah.
So this was taken in 1936. So it's an old photo.
Yeah.
And we know you could get things like double exposure.
Yeah. And then
So
spectral photography from back in the 1800s and all that.
but this
That
was
a thing
taken by
too.
Life. A photographer from Life magazine was actually there taking
Yeah.
photos. So that's who this came from. What do you see? Do you think it's, first of all, assuming it's legit, do you think it's pareidolia or do you think it's
I personally don't think it's
I don't
pareidolia.
either. I don't either.
I think that honestly, I think that they caught an apparition in this one.
And the reason I don't think it is because we can clearly follow the lines up to the head and,
Yeah.
and all of that.
Now, I'll go ahead and Jersey Devil's advocate, as we like to do sometimes, and I'm gonna have to edit that in every time I say it. The fact that the photo is so like centered and squared up,
I don't think
would lead to that. But also, if you're taking pictures of a staircase, you want to get both railings in there, so you get the whole staircase. So that, it's like, because I know somebody would look at this and go, but why is it so centered? It's like, well, also, yeah, you can crop a photo when it's done to highlight. We do it here all the time. Like we'll crop stuff just so that it goes on there.
I think this might be. I think the original image is hard. By the way, it's hard to find in a size that was usable for us. I think it does show a little more on the sides. But again, this isn't a photographer trying to take ghost photos. This is a photographer taking photos of Rhineman Hall. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but so it would make sense that it was sort of lined and centered up because that's what they're doing. And this is 36. I don't know what kind of camera this is, but it's probably sitting on a tripod.
Yeah.
They
have a hood over their head to block out light and all that. Probably.
So I would also say, okay, maybe it's light casting down, except we can see the light on the stairs to the right of it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't follow, like the path doesn't make sense. I actually believe you can see streams of light behind it.
I was thinking the same thing. There's one that's kind of like a diagonal from the top stair down to what would be like the left hand area.
Yeah.
Yes. If it's an apparition. Like that, it's almost like a beam of light, and I'll highlight that on screen during the edit. So
there are a few other things
what I'm talking about
that could be pareidolia that I'm seeing that aren't. But
absolutely,
I see the beginnings of facial features. Yep. I actually believe I can see where,
which to be fair is pareidolia, but
well, yeah, but I mean, usually that's seeing patterns that aren't there, but your brain kind of recognizes them as something. Yeah. But like, I also can see like where I believe it may be like separate arms. So like almost like this is trying to become a full form apparition, as it just isn't quite there.
Yeah.
Like it's trying to apparate a little bit more, but it can't. So there's a little bit of story behind this, and this is a true story. So it's believed that this is a photo of the wife of Lord Townsend. So this is Lady Dorothy Walpole. She was married to good Lord Townsend. Lady Dorothy was locked away and left to die. Lord Townsend claims he discovered she had been having an affair. So he locked her away in a room in this place, which is where she died. So a lot of people believe that. You ever notice that all these old photos, like every girl looks exactly the same?
Yeah.
Like they're the same face.
And the painting. And I think what they did was they just took a canvas, painted a face on a bunch of them, and just went, we'll just fill in the regular features, Oh, she's in a blue dress this time? All right, cool. Let's
actually,
not make it a
no,
white
that's
dress.
hilarious that you say that, because there's another version of this picture where I think she's wearing a red dress. It's the same damn photo. I don't know which one. But yeah, he locked her away to die. And so I like when and as far as I know, that's an absolutely true story. So it
I
adds
mean, it
something.
sounds like it at the time, oh, your wife was being a little hysterical. She's got a case of the vapors, if you were. If leeches won't cure it, just lock her away in a tower. She'll shut up eventually. And I'm
We
saying all of this completely sarcastically, but
They
that's
do
literally
shut
what
up
they did.
eventually, or
Yeah.
do they shut up eventually? Hmm.
Sometimes seems like this particular instance, it was a bad idea because once she's gone, now she's haunting your house. So maybe, I don't know, treat the women in your life a little better and they won't
And
haunt you in the afterlife.
to kind of back that point from
Theoretically.
Matt, I mean, is I don't believe, even though this was, I don't know if there's other photos. I should have researched that on all these to see if there were other photos that have been taken on one or two of these. I actually know there were, but there are reports of the place being haunted. So that it's not like this is it. Nothing else has ever happened there. I know that there have been reports of other things happening at Raymond Hall. So anyway, you guys have probably seen this one. It's just a very interesting, it's very, very famous. One of the things, and I really want to kind of talk about it. I think we'll wait till the end to really get into this discussion. Is some of these photos are so like clear that it's almost like, but why are they so clear? But I
Yeah.
kind of wonder if now, if digital photography doesn't take away, because these cameras caught a lot more contrast, right? Which was a bad thing when you're trying to take a picture of a person, but I think would cause certain things to stand out more. And digital is different than film photography. So maybe film picks things up that digital doesn't quite get in as much detail. I don't know.
And there's also we'll say theory because it hasn't, not too much of paranormal stuff has actually been proven, but the electronic component of a digital camera,
Yeah.
they're, they say that spirits pull energy so that they can manifest. So maybe they're pulling some from that camera and they're not able to be seen on the digital camera as
Possibly.
clearly. So
Let
just a
us know
weird
your
theory that I
thoughts.
got. Yeah. Tell us in the comments down there,
Your thoughts.
especially if like about,
Spirit photography.
photography and spirits
Yeah.
and things like
Yeah.
that. If you're an
You're
investigator,
into that.
come on the show. We'll talk. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually, we'd love that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to the next one. The next one takes place in 1963, and this is a photo taken by a reverend at a church in North Yorkshire, England. This is the Newby Church. Again, very gothic, very cool looking. If
Pointy.
you go online, there are several photos of this church from different angles, and it just looks cool from every angle. So the Reverend is taking photos inside the church. Do I have a photo from the inside of the church? I think the next one. Look at this place, man. Like, look at that. Like just the architecture is
Just, yeah, go in there and clap and just see how many times it
right.
echoes.
That's very cool.
Just,
Um, so this is again 19, this isn't the photo we're about to look at. It's from 1963. Reverend's in the church taking several photos. He goes back over the photos after he has them developed, and he's a little shocked by what he sees. And this is the famous photo. So this is a little zoomed in.
okay.
Obviously, the original photo is pulled back a little bit, but he photographs what looks like and they know this because there are photos of they've put people in this, and they know how tall that thing is. This thing is about 9 feet tall, and people think it looks like it's wearing a hood. Some people think it's a weird face. Some people think it looks like it has hands up in front of its face, almost like
I
it's
could see that. Yeah.
casting. No one really knows,
I have
but
another theory. It looks kind of like a plague doctor mask in a way.
a little bit. Some people
Yeah.
kind of wonder that which is interesting. I wonder if there's any research as plague and if they had any ties to this building.
Yeah.
Um, so again, this is one of those things where he swears he didn't see anything when he was taking the photos. It was only after he got them developed. So this is one of those things where the biggest argument that you get is double exposure. This is where
Hmm.
people are like it's double exposure. The problem with this is I don't believe he had any photos of a person.
Especially a
Definitely
9 foot
not a
tall
person
person.
in a cloak. So yeah. So give me some thoughts on this one, Matt. How do you feel about this photo?
Um, this one, I will say it does kind of, I don't want to say like hoax or anything like that, but the I'm looking at the railing that goes through the midsection right there, and it looks like it's in front of this
Correct.
apparition, but
Oh,
then
no,
the
see, I think
feet are on like the stair below the
you
railing.
see, you think because the railing is definitely darker behind the apparition. Why does it look like it's in front the railing look in front to you instead of
So
behind? To me, it
I'm
looks
looking at the right. Oh, sorry, not the right, but the left side of
uh-huh.
the railing, and I'm seeing a cushion right there. That looks like a prayer rail. And I would assume that there's usually a cushion, and also, normally there would probably be a cushion over on that other side,
Possibly.
because you would
Yeah.
have people coming up the aisles to go, pray at this railing, and there would, theoretically the preacher, pastor, whatever they're called in this, specific denomination of church, would be right in the center of that, and you would have people on either side praying, taking communion, things like that. And then the darkness of the rail, I'm looking at that. They're putting their arms on that to rest, so it's getting worn down and darker over time. I'm being critical of this one. I'll just
Yeah,
say that
I
right
see
now.
what you're saying, but I think I don't know. I see the beam of light right where it is kinda gets
Yeah.
lesser. My thing about this is, again, 1963, so
Mhm.
let's keep that into account.
Yeah.
So things like okay, I wanna point out the bottom where it's this cloak thing is clearly laid out, like it is
Yeah, and
we
it's
see
like
where it's
hanging over
laid
the edge of the
over the
stair.
edge and laid out. Okay, cool. So in order to fake that, right, the only thing you could possibly do at 1963, because you're not green screening your buddy on and then changing his transparency in 1963, you're not doing that.
True.
This guy's not gonna have that available, especially a reverend in the church. So, you could double exposure it if you have your own if the depending on the kind of camera you use, and if you have a dark room that you could do that in,
Yeah.
which I'm not saying he didn't do. Other than that, how would you again, 63, which I assume in 63
True.
there were normal cameras available. How would you fake this? I'm not saying you know, but do you know? Like, is there a way you could have faked this without taking it into a dark room where you get that transparency
Yeah. No, I
behind?
mean, I personally
Yeah,
can't think of a way that
I
you would
don't
do
know.
it, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, the railing seems a little darker over there for the reason I said earlier. Is my opinion on that, um, but no, I mean, it almost looks layered, maybe after the fact. Um, and by after the fact, I mean, like, when this I'm not really sure when this started like circulating around and like becoming a widely known photo.
I'm pretty sure really early on, I think most of
Probably
these
pretty
were right
close.
after they happened. Yeah,
Hmm.
where once it got noticed, they started circulating. Because back in
Yeah.
the day, you would give these to a magazine or a newspaper, and
Yeah.
that's how it would get out.
It just the face aspect of it to me looks costume like in a way,
I
rather
agree, and that
than like a more of like a uniform type situation, like, a monk or a pastor or whatever would wear.
I would
So
say the most famous one on the list we're gonna look at today is also the one that almost it's kinda like what you said, it almost looks too staged, but, is it? And that's the problem, like, no one can really say for sure. It's a creepy photo
yeah.
regardless, and, it's a very popular thing now. If you go online, you can see it for people to go and recreate, like, they'll have their husband stand there and put his hands up to his face, they'll take photos, there's a lot of them online, so
Hmm.
church is still there, you can actually go visit, and, yeah. I don't know if there's been other incidents of see, that's the thing, that's another thing, if it's fake, he never faked another one. I don't know that there's probably reports of it being haunted, but it's just weird to me, but yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, the next one I guarantee you've seen, it's probably the newest one on the list because it comes from 1997. So what we're gonna look at here in a second is a photo of an old woman, elderly woman. Now, this was taken at a family gathering at an assisted living home where grandma had been for about a week. She just moved in there. So let's go ahead and look at the photo, which you've seen. I promise you've seen it. And then we're going to talk about it. All right. You've probably seen this photo before, I'm assuming, Matt.
Absolutely have. Yeah.
Okay. And it's weird in general. Like, okay, there's grandma and there's a dude standing behind her. And the first thing I want to point out is the dude is not standing in a normal way. Okay. It's like tall man from Phantasm standing. He looks creepy in and of himself.
Boy. Yeah.
But creepy guy just standing there, not necessarily a ghost, right? Nothing really to think much there.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. So this photo was actually I don't know what the word you want to say here is presented to whoever it was presented to originally by a woman named Denise Russell. She didn't take the photo, but she's there. It was actually her sister who took the photo. They were at it, like I said, grandma had been in a new assisted living for about a week. They were at like a little picnic kind of gathering there. They're just taking photos. They don't think anything of it. They're going through the pictures much later. I don't even think it was like immediately later. And her sister is like, "Who is this guy like standing in the back?" Or she says, "Who's this guy?" Because they're like, "Well, we didn't notice him at the time of taking the pictures." But at first, they don't think anything weird. And then her sister says, "Don't you think he looks a lot like Grandpa?" The problem is Grandpa died in 1984, and this was taken in 1997. So they actually do have a photo that was put out with Grandpa next to this. You guys can kind of make up your own mind. So there's Grandpa over on the left. He's got a pipe in his mouth.
Yep.
And that's obviously an older photo of Grandpa.
Yeah.
And he died in 84.
He was alive at the time. Theoretically.
When they took the other picture, or else it's the best ghost photo ever.
Yeah.
So,
or they just took a photo of his corpse. Could be.
So there are things I'm wondering. I would like to see a more straight on photo of him, or even one closer to 84, because the figure standing there looks a little thinner, but that happens a lot as you age.
Yeah.
I don't know. Make your determinations. I can see some similarities.
And I can almost make out a pipe in the photo with the grandmother.
So it does look like when I never seen the one to the left before I put this together.
And I was going to say, this is the first time I'm seeing that one too.
I always thought to the right, like, is it just, a glow on his face or what to the right? But I get what you're saying. Yeah. Now, it's definitely not double exposure because they are different enough. That guy is clearly not
same light source and everything too. Yeah.
And he's at a slightly different angle. So it's obviously not the same photo. And in all fairness, they're just saying they've never said they 100% think it's the ghost of Grandpa watching over Grandma.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of comforting.
They didn't notice him at the time. And you'd think you'd notice an old man walking around, but you are in an assisted living home. So
yeah, there's a lot of old men walking around.
But that would be weird. Like he's just standing right behind the photo. And like I said, the way he's standing, that alone is creepy enough. And since we're on the subject and I don't know where things are going to be, if you don't follow us on Facebook, I actually just shared something to our group because I mentioned Phantasm. I know Reggie Bannister is in hospice right now and not doing well, and they're trying to get a GoFundMe. So if you have a couple bucks and you're into that kind of stuff, go over and check it out and hope, I don't know where things are at the time of the recording of this.
Yeah.
Well, I do at the time of the recording, the time of airing of this. And so that being said, if you have a couple bucks, people make the assumption, oh, he was an actor. Yeah, but it's Reggie Bannister. It's not like he's been in a ton of stuff, and they probably do need money. So it's a very sad situation. So for the Phantasm movies, for as weird as they are, I'm definitely a fan of the first two.
Yeah. I need to do a full rewatch of the entire series.
The last couple get a little like I don't need to watch that, but the first two,
I have fun stories related to the cast of the whole series, really. And,
they seem to be cool people.
Yeah.
You want to know what's weird is I saw Phantasm 2 years before I saw the first one, and I actually had it recorded on VHS off cable, and I just thought, man, this is such a weird movie. And I finally went back and watched the first one. Like I had no reference. It was just that's a good movie for atmosphere. This being just freaking weird. So
yeah, go back and watch old episodes. I actually had a VHS copy of it behind me in most of our old episodes.
So. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot.
It's a great movie. I love the series. I actually just found I was telling you earlier that had a bunch of shirts, and one of the shirts that I found was a Phantasm shirt that.
He was telling me, not you guys. So
yeah, we talk off air a lot. So.
No, we never do. We actually don't speak at all until we hit record. We just
like no doubt.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Now, the next photo we're gonna look at is a real early one, real early. The next photo is from 1891. Lord Cumbermere. Lord Cumbermere. There he is in all his glory.
He totally looks like he's owned some people.
Yeah, like I don't want to cast judgment calls. I did not research if this guy was a POS or not.
I mean, he kind of, sorry, that was my first thought.
like he's been long gone, so I don't think we're gonna offend
Yeah,
him.
and times were different. I mean,
he was a British cavalry commander, so I'm sure he was not the best.
He was definitely colonizing something. So, yeah.
So let me tell you
probably
a little bit about Lord Cumbermere. He believed he was killed in a carriage accident near his stately home. So what we have here is a photograph, or what we're going to look at is a photograph taken by someone named Cybele Courbet.
Sure.
And Courbet takes a photo of, it looks like a library or something. And in this library is a chair. And it is reported that this chair was a favorite spot for Lord Cumbermere. So I'm just going to stop for a second. Oh, okay. You just saw it.
I'm like, there's like 15 chairs in this photo here. So
there are, but that's why I wanted to see if you were, yeah. And the interesting thing about this is when there's a lot of photo where they've done like enhancements and close-ups, and you actually start seeing detail, and it's kind of creepy. So what makes the photo even more interesting is the lack of feet. We only see part of an apparition in this. There's no full apparition, kind of like the first one. And the reason that's really interesting, though, is because reportedly, when he died in the carriage accident, his legs and feet got mangled. They were crushed. So, so this is a long exposure photograph. We do know that. This was what's called a long exposure photograph. What little I know about photography means that this is one of those that you have to, like the actual photo itself takes time. Like, you have to let it.
There is no action photography for this time period. It's all
correct. Like,
let's do still life, and if it's just an empty room, great, perfect. But if there's people in it, you better be sitting
still as they can for minutes on end. I think sometimes it takes a while. So this is a long exposure photograph. It is in like I said, it's taken in the library, and we can see the outline of the man. Now, critics often suggest maybe a servant walked in and sat down during this, or somebody walked in front of it during the long exposure. The only issue with that, I could actually see that happening.
I don't see this area being accessible to a servant unless there's somebody actively in there needing to be served.
There's no streaks or blurs.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the family reports that no one, oddly enough, Matt, the family reported that no one was in the place at the time because all the family was at, not his, but at a funeral. And so no servants or anybody were in the room. That's why they let the photographer take the photo when they did. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, first of all, it couldn't just be somebody walking through, or they'd have to be like a child.
Yeah.
Or
because like height-wise, or, missing their legs from the knees down.
The other problem is the candelabra. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Lamp-looking thing is in front of it, and it very clearly looks like the arm is resting on the arm of the chair.
Yes.
So,
but if you haven't figured out where we're talking about yet, I'll highlight it up on screen so you can see.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, I don't know what's taking you this long.
Well, some people don't. Some people see things faster, and some people don't at all. And and that often lends to, like, are people just seeing what they want to see? I clearly see a head, what looks like
a collar,
an arm, and a hand. Now that's about what I see. Shoulder, but only one. I don't see the other side.
I don't see, like, past that candlestick thing. I don't see anything to the right of it.
I do part of the head.
Yeah, a little bit.
No shoulder or arm. Yeah. So yeah, and now I will admit that if long exposure, these are the type that are easy for anomalies to appear,
Yeah.
but one that has such a clear human pattern to it is in that position in a place that he reportedly liked to sit and relax. It's just,
Yeah.
weird.
And when you have 15 chairs to choose from, like one of them's gonna be your favorite, but
You're probably
you
I
gotta
can't
test
even
them all out at some
that
point
little
in
one
time
to the
too.
right doesn't look like he'd sit in it a lot.
Yeah, that's like a footstool
There's
or
very little.
yeah,
No, I mean, on the far right, there's
spindly
like a
little
little
legs.
all the way to the right, there's like a little makeup looking chair and desk or something
Oh
there
yeah,
with
yeah.
a
That's
photo on it.
his vanity.
Yeah. I don't know if it looks a little small, but hey, whatever. Yeah, it's just a really cool photo. Again, one of the most famous ones, just because of how when it was taken and having the backstory really makes things interesting.
Yeah.
And we have backstory on all of these, so that's kind of cool. And a lot of them we know who took the photo. So there you go. I said there was like an enhanced. There's a lot of enhancements and some
Yeah.
close-ups, and you can see a little more detail. Like it looks like his fist is clenched, almost like he's holding something in it. And you can almost see facial detail, and you can clearly see the collar in the enhanced version here.
Yeah.
So, and definitely looks like he's wearing like an old timey suit, like that would be worn.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Definitely
very cool.
wool. Some wool. Yeah.
Also, this photo, the enhancement and the close up really helps to say it does not. Nobody was just walking through
Yeah.
and got caught in it. Like,
And honestly, and I was joking about the no servants being allowed in there, but could you imagine a servant sitting in the
oh no,
owner of the estate's chair without their permission? Probably
in
wasn't happening.
1891,
Yeah,
probably not going to happen.
especially if this dude's owning people.
Oh man. The following opinions expressed by Matt are strictly his own and are not endorsed in any way by.
This dude's been super dead for a long
He is,
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, is he super dead though?
I
He's
mean
still,
he's undead.
yeah. All right, so the next one I promise everybody has seen several times. This next photo was taken in 1919. This is the RAF squadron photo of. I hate saying Freddie Jackson because of Freddie Jackson, but of Freddie Jackson. So I'm let's leave this one up. This is the actual photo. Now, Matt, you've seen this, I
Mhm.
know. First of all, without saying anything, do you know where the ghost is?
Yes, I do.
I'm looking right at it.
Yeah.
Now, to the untrained eye, I'm looking right at it because I know where it's at.
Mhm.
It would have taken me a bit to see it. Um, right, almost smack in the middle, but actually just left of the center post, you'll see a gentleman standing, and right behind it, you will see something. It's really hard to see in this photo, but we'll get to it in a second. In 1919, during World War I, mechanic Freddie Jackson was killed due to an accident involving an airplane propeller. Sounds atrocious, by the way.
Yeah.
It's said that shortly after his funeral, his remaining squadron took this group photo. And the joke has always been clearly Freddie wasn't going to miss out. So they, and this is the story. I mean, the story is true, but I mean, the next part of the story is what we've always heard. So he was a mechanic. He was killed by an airplane propeller a couple days prior, 2 days prior to this, is what I've read. And they took the photo, and as they're looking at it, they notice standing in the background a face. And reportedly, the men said it was him, that they know the face. So let's look. I think we have some
We got
closer up
a couple of them. Yeah.
action here. So there you go. And that is, by the way, not pareidolia. There is a face there.
That is a face. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about a couple of things because I looked at it and at first I was like, it could just be double exposure of that gentleman right there. And then I started noticing a couple of differences
Yeah.
that are hard for me to point out. Is we have a close up. So the mouths look similar, right?
Mhm.
But the things that are not similar. The chin is different. The nose is different. The eyebrow line is totally different.
Yeah.
We also see more forehead on the ghost in the background. But the thing that I noticed, I'm going to point out and see if you see what I see.
Mhm.
The hat.
Yeah.
The
The fact
one
that
is
there isn't one.
Actually, the one in the background looks like it's wearing a hat to me. It looks like it's wearing what's called an Army garrison hat, not the same style of hat. A lot of privates and stuff. I have photos of my grandpa in World War II wearing a similar style hat. So it's more of a, and they did exist at this time.
Yeah.
So it's
I'll
it's not a
I'll
full
see if I
brim.
can. I'll throw it up on screen here. What we're
So
talking
to
about.
me, it looks like the figure in the background is wearing an Army garrison hat and not in full dress. These guys are in like more of a full dress because they're taking a photo, but he probably would have been wearing his regular, um, clothes if he was working when he died, which he was. So the mounts are like things are different and different enough that it's not a double exposure from that guy.
Yeah.
The brow is where I get it the most. The guy we're looking at has kind of a raised arch in his eyebrow, but the guy in the background does not.
Yeah.
And apparently they saw this photo and they
Like
all swear that
even the shape of the face doesn't even look the
no.
same.
Yeah. There are enough differences that
Yeah.
it's not him.
And not like that, but like this dude died in a horrific way.
We're gonna assume, yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I don't think there would be I mean, I'm sure it was quick and hopefully painless,
Hopefully.
but I've also seen Indiana Jones. So
Well, that was quick.
that was very quick. Yeah. So,
We don't know that that's what like he got cut by the propeller. We don't know if something blew up. Like we literally don't know what happened.
yeah.
I'm sure you could research it and find out, but I could see this. I could see them taking the photo and even tribute like we're gonna do this in honor of him or something, and the spirit showing up for that.
Yeah.
We hear so many stories about people like right when a loved one dies, they see them at the foot of their
Hmm.
bed or they see them sometimes even before they find out they passed away.
Yeah.
My When my grandfather died, my mom, we were at the hospital right before the end, and we knew he was probably not gonna make it till the next day. My mom said that night she had a dream where he came to her, a younger version of himself, and he didn't say anything, and it was a dream. She didn't actually see him, but she said it just brought her peace. So it's one of those things where it's like, can you say some kind of goodbye to people? Like, is it
Yeah.
possible? We don't know. None of us
And
know. Well, we
honestly,
never
that could be a cool future topic because I've heard
near indie
similar
in
things as well. Yeah.
near death and what people have experienced. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
would be kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
I'm actually very interested in some of that
Yeah.
stuff. So. All right, guys. Before we go into our final few, there's something that we really need to talk to you guys about. It's pretty important. The thing is, guys, we would really like for you guys to comment on the episodes. Hey, actually, some of you have, and we really appreciate that. We
Yeah.
love to get your feedback, and we really want to know your thoughts on some of these. I'm sure most of you guys have seen these photos. But let us know what your thoughts are. Are there any of these that are like, oh God, I remember looking at that as a kid, or is there any that you're just like, this is total BS, or ones that maybe you believe a little more than others? Let us know in the comments. Also, let us know future stuff you would like to see, and yeah, that would be great. The other thing you can do, which is very helpful, is there's if you look down there's a thumb. If you click that thumb, that means you like us, and we like you. So hopefully you like us too. If you could click that thumb, it actually helps us a lot. And if you feel so inclined to do so, you can also I don't know, share this episode with your buddies. Say, hey, look, this is cool. These guys talk about ghosts and stuff.
Share with your enemies too. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Yeah. Fun fact: that was the Spanish version of
Oh, I
subscribe that
do.
popped up on yours.
On my other show, I didn't realize that I put the Spanish. Well, I was reaching out to my other audience.
Yeah.
I'm for everyone. I'm a melting pot, so I wanted to let them know they were welcome as well. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. We need to get it up to 500 real fast because I need Matt to come and go to Goblin Con with me. So
Goblin
hopefully that we can get it up there. And so subscribe and get other people to subscribe as well because we need that. We have some social medias. You guys follow us on there. I did mention our Facebook earlier. That's the one you probably want to. The others, the one on the left is YouTube, which is where you're probably watching this, but the one on the right is Instagram that Matt doesn't post to very often. But we do things on Facebook, and we have a community over there, and we share things, and cons and cool cryptid stuff coming out, like toys and stuff, and fun memes and stuff like that. So we would love for you to come over there and join in that conversation. It would be really
It's a good time.
Good time. The last thing I want to share, and this is a big one, is our email. And you can email us at kindacreepyshow@gmail.com. And something we're working on right now, which I put the call out, and I really want to put together a show of your guys' stories. So it can be anything paranormal. It can be a UFO encounter, a ghost encounter, a Bigfoot encounter. I don't care. Send it over to us. Let me know a couple of things. You can record it yourself if you have the ability and want us just to play it, or you can write something up. And if you're worried, like, hey, I'm not the best writer, it's okay. Just give me the details. I can put something together and ask you, does this work for you? Or if you want to write it all, do that. Don't worry. If you mess up a word, I'll pretend like you didn't. I'll probably mess up a few of my own.
I was
anyway.
going to say he's going to screw it up himself.
I knew you were going to say something. But please send it over. We would appreciate it. Or if you just have show ideas or anything like that, you can email it to us. Cool. Yeah.
Now, back to the show.
All right. So I'm going to say it. Arguably, I guess, for me, this next one on the list is probably the most famous, at least for me. Like, I remember seeing this one growing up and being like, whoa, like it blew my mind. So this comes from 1966. So this photo was taken at a place called the Queen's House. The Queen's House is another very cool looking place in England.
Yeah.
So this was taken, the photo was taken, a lot of people say the photo was taken at the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, England. It actually was taken here in the Queen's House, which is right next door. They're all sort of in the same compound to the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, England. What's really cool is you can go there. It's a tourist thing. It's still around today. And you can go there and then go inside and take cool photos of something called the Tulip Staircase. So let's take a look at this awesome staircase. So this is one photo of the Tulip Staircase.
That's just a fun staircase right there. I like that.
Yep. And then we have a second photo of
I don't want to walk up it.
This is also the Tulip Staircase. It is very high.
Halfway up.
Yeah, it's very, and it's just a really cool looking spiral staircase. I highly recommend going online and looking up like a bunch of people have taken photos, and some of them are just really cool, man. So go check them out. All right, so the photo we're going to look at here in a second was taken by a gentleman named Reverend Ralph Hardy. Reverend Hardy was actually visiting the museum on vacation. So he's from Canada. He returns to Canada. He notices the odd apparition in his vacation photos when he starts looking over them. So here's the interesting things about this let's go ahead and show it, and then I'll tell you some interesting things. It's a very famous photo of the Tulip Staircase. So you've probably seen this. Mm-hmm. I definitely have.
I have thoughts.
This is zoomed in, I will tell you that. The original is a little further out. I'm sure you do have thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
We see what most people believe are two monks climbing the staircase. We see some very detailed things, including rings on the fingers. We see a ring on the same finger on each monk. The one down below is a little harder to tell than the one up above. And again, we have this kind of weird partial apparition kind of thing. So do you want me to tell you details first, or do you want to go into your thoughts first?
Let's do the thoughts first.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of those that's like, oh my God, if this is real, it's freaking amazing.
As hell. Yeah.
Again, this is 1966. Okay. So we're not looking at long exposure stuff. It is an older camera, but it's not, it's not going to be probably double exposed. So let me hear some of your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts.
I would almost argue that there's a possible third figure in this as well.
It maybe is. Yeah. I don't know.
So almost like just a little off center, like above where the hand is on the higher up part of the railing. I would think that that's possibly a third head of a monk, if they're saying that. And I will go in to say that the one that's like more prominent, down towards the lower right of the screen, that is in the position I would probably be in as I'm climbing these stairs. I'm just like,
that's 3 steps up.
Just
not even to the
so
first
winded. Yeah.
Like, screw this noise.
Just like, I don't want to go up these stairs. you know, going back down them would be fun because you could
Whee!
be a little on the dangerous side. Yeah, you just slide down the railing. But I mean, they're definitely like climbing and ascending these stairs.
Right. Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
this is a very intriguing photo. It's
mhm.
definitely like it makes you think about like what they're actually taking a picture of. Like if this isn't a spirit, what is it?
So immediately he is going through his photos and he sees this and he right away takes it to the Ghost Club. Now, you might not know what the Ghost Club is, or maybe you do. The Ghost Club is located in England, and it is believed to be the oldest organization in existence dedicated to investigating paranormal phenomenon.
Hmm.
So they've been around for a really long time. He sees this photo, and the first thing he does is he sends it to them. Look what I captured. That to me speaks like a but like he sees it and the first thing he does is send it to people to investigate it. That is like, wow, dude, that's cool. They would examine this photo, as would the Kodak Film Company. They found that the photo did not appear to be tampered with, meaning whatever was in the photo was likely there when the photo was taken. In other words, no manipulation was done to the negatives of the photo from anything that either group could find. They also examined the other photos taken at the time, and it was determined the shot before and the shot after on the roll of film could not, well, they didn't bleed over because neither of those shots were of people. They were actually of architecture in the area. So, photo before architecture, then this photo, which again, he was taking photos of the stairwell, and then the photo after architecture. So, in other words, those two frames, neither one of them could have bled this image in because they weren't,
Yeah.
this was not on any image.
Hmm.
This photo was taken with a Zeiss Icon Cantina with Kodachrome 35 millimeter color film. I don't know why it's in black and white if it was taken with color film. I'm sure that it's just somebody's done that over time. And it
Good
was
question.
taken with natural daylight, no flash. So,
Okay. So real quick, we're gonna pause here, and I want to see if we can find a color version of this.
okay. All right. So Matt went and pulled the color photo. He went and found this is really interesting. I wonder if this is an actual print, like a copy of the original. Because you see like the lines and everything. It
Yeah.
also helps understand the staircase because you can see now clearly that it is underneath the staircase that you're. That's what threw you off in that black and
Yeah.
white. I think took away some of the details. Um, so yes, you could still see the same stuff. It's not as close up, obviously, in this one as we had in the other one, but you can see the hands, you can see the color photo. Again, this was taken
Oh,
natural light, no flash photography was used on this or anything.
this photo is actually in the Queen's House Museum.
It is, yes,
This is the photo, and I'm actually looking at it, and they actually talk about. It appears that there's a figure ascending the stairs in pursuit of a second and possibly a third figure.
which is what
So,
Matt said he thought
yep,
he saw.
yep. But yeah,
So
this is a copy of like this is I'm assuming a scan of the actual photo, like on the
what
actual paper.
what's amazing about this is that the sheer amount of investigative work that was done immediately following it, that he would give it up to be investigated, that we had a couple of different companies come in and look at it, and what now they're not saying it's not fake, but what they're saying is, well, they're not saying it's not a hoax. They're saying that they show zero evidence that the negative was tampered with in any way or that this was double exposure. In other words, again, what they say is what was there had to have been there.
Yeah.
And the issue I have is that top one. The one at the bottom, I guess, could be if you got the lighting right, could just be somebody and they look creepy enough and you get enough grain. But the top one is there's just not there's only parts showing.
Yeah.
So how would you fake that?
Yeah.
How would you fake that if you didn't manipulate the negative? This is one of those photos that almost looks too good to be real, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how you fake it. And I mean, I do know how you'd fake it, but apparently there's evidence to suggest he didn't do any of that. Also, if you're gonna fake it, wouldn't you try to sell it, make money off of it, not go to these people that are known to investigate paranormal first thing and go, "Hey, I need you to look at this and verify
Yeah.
this is
Take it to
real."
people whose main goal, theoretically, is to debunk something like this.
And ask them literally, "Can you tell me if this looks legit? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what I captured here." Like, that's a I don't know. This is a great photo. It's a
Yeah.
awesome
It's
photo, and
creepy. It honestly looks like something that, and Jay, you would probably know, this looks like something that Connie and I might have framed and hanging in our house
it
somewhere.
totally does. I could see you doing that now, with a really cool gothic frame around it, like, it would look really cool. Eh, you need to get those filigrees around the frame, like, to match
Oh,
it
that'd be
with
cool. Yeah. Match it
it
up.
this was one of those photos I remember seeing as a kid and just being
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, like, is this for real?" Like, I mean, it's just it's almost too good to be true, but we say that all the time. People get really like, "Why is it always so grainy? Why doesn't it show any detail?" And then when you show them the detail and it's not grainy, they're like, "Why is it so good?"
Yeah.
It's
Why
too
is it so clear?
good.
It's got to be a happy medium of really crappy photo and like really clear, just so that I can be satisfied just
And then
enough.
and in the world of 2026, we're like, it's probably AI, but again, this is not 2026. This is
This was
way before. So
66, I think is what you
this is
said.
60s. This is 1966. Yeah.
Okay.
So when he took the photo, so it's this photo's like 10 years older than I am. This is a 60-year-old photo here. So I don't know. It's just really, really cool. All right. So the next one on our list is actually one I had never seen before, but it is considered to be one of the most famous um, ghost photographs ever taken. This one's interesting, and I'm going to tell you why. Something in a minute. I did something that it's not other people. So the photo comes from 1959. There's a place in Australia called Cor- Corriby Rock. Go ahead and say it, Matt.
Corroboree rock.
Yeah, I thought you'd do
I'm
your
guessing.
your Australian accent.
Oh,
You're much better.
Corroboree rock. Yeah.
Roll. I'm not good at it, so I don't do it. This is a
Or as
really
we like to call it, the pebble.
this is a very famous spot, as you can tell.
It's got a plaque.
Weirdly enough, I know a lot of people go here for like some kind of spiritual retreat sort of thing.
So it's like
So
their Joshua tree.
kind of, I guess. So the photo taken in 1959 was taken by Reverend R.S. Blance, a Presbyterian priest who captured the image during a visit to Corroboree Rock formation near Alice Springs in Australia. So let's go ahead and look at the photo that he snapped. All right.
Okay.
So there are color versions of this photo out there. I'm pretty sure they have been colorized though, but I do not know that to be 100% true. They do exist if you guys want to go find them. But I don't. I think they've been colorized. They look like they've been colorized. I do not know what kind of camera or anything he took this photo on. So without saying anything, Matt, what do you see?
I'm personally thinking a pareidolia situation for myself.
I gotcha.
Because I'm not 100% sure where I'm supposed to be looking.
Oh,
I'm thinking just slightly off to the right.
Just slightly right of middle.
Okay, then I will describe what I am seeing then. It appears to be a woman in a white dress with like longer black hair.
Playing the trumpet. That's
playing a trumpet.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like holding their hands up like
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Yes.
This is a photo of Amy Lee in the outback.
Yes. So yes, and Matt will highlight it for the folks at home to see. But let's go ahead and move to the close-up image of it. That'll help a little bit.
Yeah.
So I thought the same thing. I can see the pareidolia stuff, like, but then I see other
gaps
things.
and branches and things.
The
That's what
problem is the gown. The gown has very clear lines that are not right. The head, I could see it, and almost do see it, but the gown is different. And I will tell you, the color version of this is just a translucent white figure as well. So even if that's the original, it could still be that. The issues this is the first thing I saw too, was like, this could be pareidolia. So let me kind of tell you what we hear. It appears to be a human figure in a white gown that the Reverend claimed was not visible at the time, which if it was pareidolia, it wouldn't be visible at the time. You're just seeing the twigs and branches and stuff like that. again, some people say peering out from the rocks. I don't see that. They're
I
just,
don't even see rocks. What are we
and
talking
people
about?
believe that the hand is raised to the face. All right, so I kind of wondered too, am I seeing patterns that don't exist? So I actually took this photo in and did some manipulation. Nothing enhanced or anything. What I did was I changed some of the coloring aspects around and added like kind of tweaked some of the uh, I didn't do like an invert. I did some. Go ahead and show the next photo
Okay.
to see if I noticed anything stand out.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
again, the lines stand out around the right side of the dress or gown that makes it hard. If that line wasn't there, I'd swear it was just, pattern recognition. That line goes all the
I'm noticing more now with this one as well. Like you see the bottom of the dress,
Yes,
like
that's what I'm
where it's
talking
touching the ground, and then you see things behind it through it. So if anything, they had to do some kind of opacity situation because the head looks kind of solid, and then the upper torso looks kind of solid as well. But
yes.
then from like the waist down, you can see the rocks or
It's trees and
plants or
stuff.
whatever it is
Well,
behind it.
again,
Yeah,
according to the colorized version, it's all
yeah.
trees and
And then one thing that it kind of gives me pause on all of this, and this is weak. I'll just tell you right now, this is a weak question to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So we're looking back at this. Why was this photo even taken? Like, what are you taking a picture of
again,
if you
it's
don't
a
know that there's something there?
yeah, I get what you're saying. It is a famous spot, and if he had taken several photos, which I believe he did,
Yeah,
then this wouldn't be so weird. He just claims that this is the one where he captures something that he couldn't explain.
yeah.
Um, the problem with it is he didn't see anything when he took it, so it could just be pareidolia where we're seeing what we
Yeah.
want to see, and that's probably the biggest argument that's made. Unlike the last one, we don't, I don't know that and I don't know that it hasn't, but that the film itself was looked over, and if things were determined to be fake or
Yeah.
not or whatever.
But I
I'm gonna
mean, it's an interesting photo. It's just
we
like I said, the one question I have is
why take well
why'd you
again,
take a
if he took
picture of it? Because
several,
it looks like it's just landscape, but not, in my opinion, interesting landscape. The first
um,
photo of the actual like monument, the
I get your
Corroboree Rock.
that wasn't his.
Yeah,
I
I
get
know,
your
I know.
argument, but back in before recent times when people like I have a lot of photos from like 80s and stuff where I'm like, why did they take this picture?
Yeah, it's like wow, you just took a picture of
Because
the
it was a
ground
different
for
thing
some
back
reason.
then, and you weren't. Now we delete them if we look at it, we're like, well, that picture's dumb, but you didn't back then. So
True.
he might have snapped a bunch of photos, and it's just what he kept because he was just
Hmm?
maybe to him. You ever looked up at the sunset or the sunrise? You're the one that said, "Man, that looks gorgeous," and so you try to take a picture, but the picture just doesn't.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't show it, so you just get rid of it. Like it's
yeah.
not going to show it.
Or
Could have
even
been
better,
like that.
anytime there's an eclipse, everybody tries to take their own photo of it, and everybody posts on the online, and it's like, wow, this is pretty much the same photo, and they all suck.
Yeah.
So
And it could be something like that where he was just taking what it looked pretty to him, but then to the rest of us, it just looks like crap
yeah,
on the photo. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm going to ask you a question before we go into the last one, though, and it's
okay,
okay to leave this one up while I do. Have you noticed the pattern? It's not in the last one, but it's been in several of these. Something
okay.
familiar, something common to at least 3 of the pictures we've looked at today. No, you didn't catch on to it.
I don't know.
This photo was taken by Reverend R.S. Blance
Oh
of
yeah, it's all reverence.
a bunch of priests and reverends.
What
Yeah,
the
several
hell?
of these
That's
were
weird.
taken by reverends or priests. Isn't
Yeah,
that bizarre?
the grandpa's ghost one, not so much, but yeah, they were all like
The ones
men of the cloth, if you will.
the Newberry Church one was
Yeah,
taken by a reverend. The, Tulip Staircase was taken by a reverend,
and
and this
one of them, the Newberry Church one, is supposedly of a monk, so
yeah,
that's already
we have a
somebody
couple of
that's
monks in
yeah,
these too. So I
interesting.
just thought
No,
that was interesting.
I hadn't picked that up until just
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
All right, so the next one again, very famous photo. I'm sure you've all seen it, but this one's always been weird to me on a different level. So the next one was taken again, not our newest, because this one was taken in 1996, where our newest one, I believe, was 1997. So this was a year from it. This photo was taken at the Boot Hill Graveyard in Arizona, very famous tourist spot. a lot of famous old west kind of stuff there. These are all passed away cowboys from the 1800s and stuff. So
And this is a real graveyard?
this is a real place, yeah, a real graveyard. You can go visit
Okay.
it today, right? And it is regularly maintained, so they have a
That was my
grounds
question that I was about to ask,
the
because
stuff will grow and they will trim it and they will fix stuff. Yes, that is done. It's a tourist right now.
those headstones look
It is
replaced.
it is
So
considered to be, well, I don't know. I just think they might be maintained. But
yeah,
I could be incorrect about that. I really don't know. It's considered to be the most famous Old West graveyard in the world today. So people go out and visit it all the time. So, here's what we do know. The photo was taken by a gentleman named Terry Ike Clanton, a modern day cowboy and poet, but he is not who is
slash
in
priest.
he is not no, he is not in the photograph. He what we'll do here is he's out there with his buddy, and this is not uncommon. So before you ask, his buddy wanted to dress up in attire, and there are things around here like a general store and all that, like set up Old West style. And he wanted to take a photo, like an Old Westy type photo himself.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and look at the photo first.
There's photo booths where I'm sure you've done it and I've done it, where you dress up like that, and yeah,
absolutely. So here's the photo. What do you notice?
That answered my question.
You've seen this, I'm sure.
I've seen this, and it there's a man in the back with a fedora on, sitting in the ground.
Is it a fedora? I can't relate. It's we'll look a little
cowboy
closer.
hat, perhaps, but
so there's his buddy dressed clearly in modern day, but trying to look like an Old West cowboy,
and possibly grew that mustache out for this occasion.
If it's even real.
If it's even real, yeah. If it's not, that's a good fake mustache.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's got an aspect to it that makes me kind of question it, but also let's talk about it a little bit more first.
Well, let's
zoom
in and look at this thing that's in the background a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. It's looking a little weird, but like
Cillian Murphy and Oppenheimer.
It very much is. The hat is hard. Like if the hat wasn't there, it'd be like, again, pareidolia. We're seeing it might not be anything, but the problem is, do we have one more zoom in, or is this it?
We do, in fact.
Cool. Okay, there you go. And now you're starting to see, and actually, there are some people that are like, and it might even be a woman. Like some people see.
Oh
this
yeah.
There are people, and I don't see this next bit. You can start looking before I read you what he said about this. A knife, holding a knife. I don't see it, but
I don't see a knife.
This is a quote that comes from Terry Ike Clanton, the gentleman who took the photo. This is his quote. "This is the photo that changed my opinion about ghost photos. I personally shot this photograph of my friend in Boot Hill Graveyard. We had it developed at Thrifty Drugstore, and no one tampered with it. The picture was shot in black and white because my friend wanted Old West-looking pictures of himself dressed up in my 1880 period clothes. All I can say is I know there was no other person in this photograph when I shot it, especially some guy holding a knife. That's right, folks. If you look carefully, the person in the background appears to be holding a knife."
Sure. I don't see it, but okay.
Look just to the right of my friend, and you'll see the person, which appears to have no legs or is coming out of the grave. Some people think it looks like a little boy. Some say an old man, even an old lady. What do you think? So what do you think?
This is going to be
1996.
Whoever this is, but they kind of have a profile of Jim Varney, a little bit, little Ernest P. Worrell.
You see Jim Varney, really?
A little bit. The hat almost looks a little oversized, but it's definitely like something is there. If that's not an actual person sitting in the grass, and I'm saying sitting in the grass because they are definitely not standing.
Yeah,
especially if this area is maintained.
I have weird questions about that that I don't know if anybody can answer. But Matt's right. We see bushes in front and behind them.
Yeah.
So we'll
go back to the
full. a full, like, I mean, fully
Yeah,
like.
I want to go to the scale aspect of everything. There's a headstone to the right of this
Mhm.
apparition. If that person is standing, they are a tiny, tiny little person.
But what if they are standing? So we've talked about this in the past.
Oh, could be
Maybe in
like
the
down a hill a little bit.
1800s, there was the hill dropped a little there or
Yeah.
something, and just over time, it's been built up because of the graves or God knows what. Maybe at their time, because this is real common throughout parts of,
I mean, it is called Boot Hill, so maybe it is
this
on a hill.
it is true. This is real common throughout parts of Gettysburg where people have reported seeing, like,
Mm-hmm.
a spirit walking, but it's like it looks like it's partially in the ground, and then when you go back and look, it's like because back during the Gettysburg War, the road was actually lower than it is in certain spots today, so they would be walking down there, and if those are echoes, fine, but this doesn't look like an echo. This looks like a full body freaking apparition coming out the ground. This thing's corporeal almost, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's the most solid looking thing
Yes.
I've ever like ghost I've ever seen.
Now,
So then,
I wanted to point something else out too while we're on this. A lot of the photos that we talk about on this show and videos and everything, they don't have a stamp of some sort for like copyright or whatever.
yeah, I think this was I
This
have my
one says all rights reserved, Tombstone,
mhm,
Arizona.com.
.com.
So theoretically, this was, licensed out to them to promote Tombstone, Arizona a little bit. So that kind of throws a little bit of questionability from me into it. Is why does it have that all rights reserved on there? Could be nothing. Could
I'm
be.
sure he sold the photograph. I really don't
That's a good point. That's a good point. And the other thing that kind of we've actually discussed it on a previous video, where something that I have had kind of pointed out to be an indication of a potential hoax of like, hey, look over there. Like, do you see this? Do you see this thing over here?
and he's almost pointing.
He's almost pointing with
I get
the
what you're saying.
gun, the barrel of the gun.
And I bring back something I've said on several, and again, we're just playing, we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
Okay, Matt,
Mhm.
let's take a photo and let's hoax and put a let's take it to Boot Hill and put a ghost of a cowboy in the background.
Why?
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's not even the why. That's not where I'm getting. It's why put him partway in the ground and why not make him look a little more translucent?
Yeah.
Why choose that when
Why
you could just put
so
him a little over
solid?
to the right behind that bush and make him a little, and it would have worked just as well. Why inside the ground like that? It's such a weird choice to make.
True. Yeah.
And maybe that's a move. If we put it in the ground, it'll look like he's crawling out, but it doesn't look like he's crawling out of a grave. It looks like he's just standing there, or she,
Yeah.
he or they.
Yeah.
And
Ernest.
if it's a hoax, it's a weird choice.
Yeah. Ernest goes to Tombstone.
I don't see Jim Varney, but let's go to the real extreme close up really quick. I want to point out one thing here. The only thing that I noticed about this photo that it's weird right here, and again,
I'm thinking Jim Varney and Beverly Hillbillies for the record. Like that's specific. Yeah. I'll put it on screen so you know what I'm talking about.
I see the Uncle Jed hat, but that's I don't face. It almost looks like the face is turning and we have some motion blur, but nothing else.
Yeah.
And it throws me a little because actually it's almost like maybe the second part of the face is still apparating and you almost see an eye there.
Mhm.
It's not fully in. It's just weird. I can't explain that. It's I don't know. Very weird. And we welcome all of your thoughts.
Yeah.
What do you guys see there? So you can let us know in the comments and you can email us. Either one will work. But there you go, guys. Some of considered some of the most famous ghost photos in history, and you've probably seen a lot of them. But again, Matt and I had never discussed them, and I know we both grew up looking at these. Guys, we really appreciate having all of you here, and we hope that you keep coming back. Please subscribe.
Despite our weird conversations.
So I think it's because of the weird conversations. You guys don't even know what gets cut out. Last week he cut out a bunch, apparently. Like
I cut out a half hour
of crazy talk, and it was crazy. It was fun. He said he was going to release some of it as bonus, so whatever.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
It was your shirt. When I noticed halfway through that your shirt looked like Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park.
We'll let him release that as a midweek bonus thing, and you guys will see the conversation that took place about the shirt I was wearing. But we have crazy conversations before and after sometimes. So and most of it gets cut out, not because there's anything
sometimes wrong. During. Yeah,
you guys would enjoy it. It's just for time's sake. We don't want to go off on these weird tangents. Sometimes we cut it out because we people do not hear it, but usually it's just time's sake. So please subscribe if you haven't done so. We really appreciate you guys. That's it for this week. Hey, this Sunday, it's Mother's Day. Be nice to your mom. She could be gone before you know it. I don't have any ghost photos of my mom. I hope to never have any.
Some yeah, that's a good point.
But please don't haunt me.
I was gonna say some would say be nice to your mom all the time, not just on Mother's Day.
Yeah, well,
don't make it a special occasion. Just highlight it a little bit more.
Some of our I would say both of our moms probably watch this show. Mine just from a different. I wonder if she gets better reception.
She probably does. I mean, just like the spirit realm gets really good Wi-Fi too.
But Mother's Day is coming up this Sunday as of the release of this, so we're letting you know now. Don't forget your mom. Go do something cool for her. That's it, guys. Appreciate everything. Matt, anything you would like to add before we close this one out?
No, but if you have any cool ghost photos that you think we should have talked about, go ahead and send them on through.
Oh, that's what I'll give that call out. If there's and there are a couple for me. If there's a photo out there, there's a real famous one going around right now. It's driving me batshit crazy. I need to find it and send it to Matt. If there's one that people keep talking about and you're like, I don't see it, please send it. Because sometimes I don't see it either. And I'm like, what are they seeing? And it gets me really aggravated.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we could do an entire episode on like rage bait cryptid videos.
Oh man, there's a real famous clip going around right now.
Like,
and
did you see it? No, because there's nothing in the photo.
I don't see it at all. But this one's famous. Like it keeps popping up. So somebody must be seeing something. I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
So send those and we'll take a look at them. But until next time, guys, we appreciate you coming. Please come back. Please subscribe. And most importantly,
keep it creepy.
This is kind of creepy. Goosebumps rising up my spine.